Establishing boundaries is good for your well-being. It allows you to commit to what you're capable of achieving, reducing burnout or the feeling of being overwhelmed, which can be caused by juggling too many priorities at the same time, or guilt when you feel like you're focusing on the wrong things. Boundaries can also help you to reach peak performance in areas that are important to you as you focus on your key priorities rather than applying your attention everywhere and not moving forward in any areas in your life. Relationships also benefit from boundaries because if you communicate what you're focusing on, and most importantly, why, people know exactly what to expect of you. How do you go about deciding where your boundaries should be? Step one, use your priorities to shape your boundaries. Start by considering your top priorities in life right now and figure out how these will fit into your week or your month. Your top 5 priorities could be parenting, work, rest, studying, connecting with friends. This will be completely personal to all of us and it will change over time. Map out the days and times when you'll be focusing on these activities over the next week. Step 2, use your values to guide boundaries. Consider how your weekly plan fits with your values. If learning is important to you, does this show up in the activities throughout your week? If compassion is a strong value for you, is there enough focus on caring for others or volunteering in your week? Where you have some flexibility or control of how you spend your time, can you find ways to use this in a way that fits with your values? Step 3, identify your fixed and flexible boundaries. Some boundaries may be fixed. These are activities that absolutely must happen once a week or once a month. For example, you may have to travel for certain projects, or you may put your children to bed every night or once a week. You may care for a relative on a fixed day every week, or go to your workplace on a set day every month. You may also have flexible boundaries, which are still very important to you, but might look different from one week to the next. For example, you might choose to exercise 3 times a week, but that will fit around other commitments and might take place on different days each week. Or connection with friends might be important to you, and you'll do that in various ways. One week might be a telephone call, and others might be a walk or dinner with someone that you care about. With flexible boundaries, if they are broadly in your routine, they don't require any fixed rules about when you take part in these activities. The beauty of flexible boundaries is it can take the pressure off. As long as you're focusing on the activity when you can, you don't need the same routine every week. For example, some weeks I exercise less and others I step up the pace, working around my fixed boundaries every week. You want to be firm around your fixed boundaries and adaptable with your flexible boundaries. As a note of caution, however, it's important your flexible boundaries don't get pushed to the side. If you find this is happening with negative consequences, you might want to make these boundaries fixed in the future. Setting boundaries can take time. If you can't quite commit to all the boundaries you want to put in place right now, just work towards getting your boundaries where you want them, one small step at a time. Also, don't be afraid to review and change your boundaries as your life changes or as you learn more about what's working or not for you and your relationships with others. The beauty of boundary setting is you can use the same process to shift your boundaries at any time. Just follow these same steps whenever you feel that you want to make adjustments. The chances are you'll always be tinkering with your work-life blend, adding a bit of something to your life, taking other activities away, all depending on your circumstances and the priorities you're juggling. Sometimes the changes might be huge: a new job, a move, or a new family member to nurture. Or small, such as taking up a new hobby, joining a committee, or switching up your routine in some way. One thing that's consistent across all changes you make to your work life blend is you need to make choices, and you need to confidently communicate these choices to those who need to know. How do you make choices day to day to help you reach your goals, perform where it matters, and look after your well-being in the process? When you want to add new activities into your blend, before you go through the process of adding events into your schedule, ask yourself three questions about the tasks. One, is this important? This could be important to you, such as delivering a project you've been working on, or it could be important to others, such as helping a friend with something that is important to them. Two, is this meaningful? Consider whether the activities align with what's important for you in life. It could be that being dependable for people that you care about means a lot to you, or maybe putting in some extra hours at work as you prepare for a promotion or an interview is meaningful because there's an opportunity of creating financial security. 3. Does this activity need to be completed by me? We only have so many hours in the day, and we can't always take on all of the activities that are important and meaningful to us. We may at times still be able to make sure that these activities are completed by delegating or asking for help. It won't always be easy to answer these three questions, and working through the checklist is a subjective process. Ideally, you want to schedule activities that are important, meaningful, and need to be completed by you first. Then work out where you'll fit in activities that meet two of your criteria, if you have time. If you still have space in your schedule, you can fill that with commitments that fit one of your criteria. This is also your opportunity to be firm and remove items from your to-do list if someone else could complete the activity, or put them on a to-do later list if it doesn't meet your criteria right now. The next step is to communicate honestly and directly to those who are impacted. This could include your partner, friends, family, manager, or colleagues. Maybe you have an activity that's important to someone else, such as supporting a charitable event, but you just can't get to it right away because of all the other demands on your time. Although it can be tempting to shy away from conversations about your boundaries and commitments, relationships are often negatively impacted where we don't communicate effectively. It may be a challenging message to deliver, but it's better that you're direct and honest with the people who rely on you, rather than letting them down or overcommitting and causing stress for yourself or others. Making choices can be daunting and overwhelming at times. The key is to use a process so you're clear on how and why you're making decisions. You can also use this process to explain to others how you've decided what activities you can and can't commit to. When it comes to making decisions about how you prioritize, where you use your limited energy and time, and how you communicate your boundaries with others, it can be intense. This is where you need a support system around you to lend a listening ear, offer practical support, or extend some guidance if you're navigating challenges they've experienced before. People who have a strong support system and connection with others report higher well-being and satisfaction with the choices they make about how they direct their time and attention. Are you clear on who is within your circle of support? Sometimes the roles become blurred as someone who's in your support system, such as a partner or colleague, may also be someone who has needs and demands that you're struggling to meet at times, which can make it complicated. But that is the nature of relationships. And ideally, you want to ensure you have multiple people within your circle that you can rely on for different kinds of support, such as emotional support or practical support. This way, You're setting yourself up with a comfortable buffer around you, and you'll be able to tackle different kinds of competing work and life demands that come your way. Here's how you can start to build and nurture your circle of support. Step one, take some time to map out who is in your circle of support right now. You could have categories such as friends, family, colleagues, partner, mentors, coach, or healthcare professionals. You can add to the list as you think of others to include. Step two, identify the role that each person plays in your circle of support. For example, some people may be great listeners, others brilliant at offering advice in a specific area. Or you may find some people offer practical support, like helping to fix something. Others may motivate you to focus on priorities that are important to you, such as finding time for exercise. You may be on the same journey as others or share a particular experience which can make you feel connected. Step three, notice any gaps in support. You might, for example, have a brilliant support network with your colleagues, but you lack support with caring responsibilities. Alternatively, you may be part of a community that's supportive with your hobbies, but you would appreciate more support in achieving a qualification or a promotion that's important to you. Step four, plan how to plug some of the gaps. This may not be a swift process. Creating a support system can take time. However, if you're aware of areas of your life where you need more support and you're clear on the types of support you need, you can start to work towards that. Maybe you'll join a group or community or connect with people you've lost touch with. Step five, nurture your relationships. When you feel like you're being pulled in many different directions, it can be tempting to put relationship management at the bottom of your priorities, which can be damaging to relationships over the long term. You may also lose a supportive relationship, which can leave you feeling depleted and lonely. Your well-being is also improved by providing support for others. So this is an opportunity to boost your well-being in a meaningful way by being supportive. Your circle of support will change over time, and some relationships will feel stronger than others at different points in time. As you work on continually tweaking your work-life blend, reflect on your circle of support and focus on building your support buffer around you. How do you maintain motivation to keep working or creating an effective work